Hel- hello traders, how are you? Welcome to this week's weekly market breakdown. If you can hear me, please type yes on the chat. I would be more than appreciative of that. If you can hear me, please type yes on the chat. Apparently no one can hear me. Let me see if I can hear myself. All right. So in this week, yes, perfect. In this week's weekly market breakdown, we're going to go through the pound, what has happened with Brexit, and the explosion of the pound versus all majors. Also, we're going to have a look at the US dollar breaking with our long-term bullish structure and the trade talks with China. And also we're going to look for some levels to jump in long on the pound versus the majors. And again, we are going to have a look at some very good opportunities in the US dollar, Japanese yen, the US dollar CAD, etc. And the euro versus the USD. So why don't we start with the US dollar, shall we? Now the US dollar, let me just go ahead and make this visible for everybody. Now the US dollar, if you remember correctly, we were always talking about this long-term bullish structure that we were trading in, right? We were making higher highs right here, and right here, okay? And we were making higher lows, as you can see with the bullish structure, higher low, at a higher low right here. We are still making higher highs and higher lows. Now, this is what I need you to understand. Even though we have broken with the white, bullish structure right here, we are still inside of a bullish structure. Now, let me just explain to you what do I mean by this. What I mean by this is that even though we have broken with the technical bullish structure or the technical bullish structure right here, we are still in a bullish structure because we are making, we don't know if this is a new low actually, but we haven't broken with the previous low. Now, unless we break with the previous low and retest it, we are not in a bearish structure just yet, all right? So we are still very much bullish on the US dollar. And with the rhetoric from the trade talks the last, on the Thursday and Friday in Washington, and the delegation, both delegations saying that they are almost on the grasp of a deal. If this scenario really plays out, we can expect a higher dollar. All right. For the time being, we are going to wait until the open of the market. Remember, the market is still closed, which is fine because what I like to do is I like to go through my levels and analyze my charts right before the market opens, because when the market opens, I have to manage my positions, all right? I'm going to tell you my positions earlier because full disclaimer, right, guys? So we're going to wait. Maybe we're going to see a retest here. Or a real retest of the 98 level for a continuation higher. We don't know yet, but let's see how this turns out. All right, now let's have a look at gold, right? So full disclaimer, we are short gold with the premium community. And if you are not a premium member, guys, I'm leaving you a link below this video where you can try our premium community for only $25 for the first month. That's only $25 for one entire month to test our premium. This immediate bullish structure, right? We saw that rejection of the 1510 level, and we decided that because of this massive rejection and this bulls were unable to swipe all those sell orders that were stacked in here. We decided that the play was to go short at the break of this structure, and we did. We went short at the break of this structure with our first targets right here, and these are technical targets, right, that we have right here at the bottom of the structure, which is completely normal to have those targets. Now, Uh, our key level is the 1485, which has already been broken in the past, and that we faked out of, all right? So if the dollar opens higher, gold is going to open lower. And because our view on the US dollar is still very much bullish, we are looking at a short-term or medium-term short in gold. And what is very interesting is that even though we had a dip in the US dollar, right, gold didn't go up, all right? So gold bears are still very much dominating this market with the rejection of this level, the 1510. So we remain short here with yes, the first targets at the 1461, all right, the 1461, which is a very important level, but the overall targets that we do have in this short in gold are these highs, all right? Now this is very key. Now if you know me and if you follow my shows, you know that yellow lines are key levels, red lines are historic levels, and green lines are just immediate levels of support and resistance. Now this is the way that I trade, and this is the way that I visually aid myself when looking at a chart. And the thing is that when you look at a chart, you need to understand right away where your levels are. And I know that the price is struggling right now at a historic level that was tested before right here, okay? Now, my ultimate targets on the short side for the short term, like I said before, are these highs right here, or this yellow line at the 1433. So what I'm expecting is at least a retest of this previous base for a culmination of the first target, and then ultimately to target my my key level at the 1433. Now what's going to happen after that, I don't know, but what I can tell you is that if you look at this at the upside on gold, it looks very, very toppy. Now I'm going to show you how a bullish move looks toppy in my eyes. Now this is a very strong move to the upside, but right here you can see that bulls are unable to maintain that momentum to the upside, which leads me to believe that the downside in gold is what's going to be more plausible. So in my eyes, watching these rejections in this in these important levels, immediate levels, is my trigger to go short in gold and look for those shorts. Now, what's going to happen? Well, if we have a retest of this level, I might be adding if the risk to reward scenario is good enough, all right? And of course that I will be sending this my trade levels immediately or to the second to my premium community members. And if you're not a premium community member, I'm leaving you a link below to try us out for $25 for just 1 month. Now this is my view on the US dollar and gold. Now let's have a look at what has happened with the British pound. Now this is very impressive what has happened with the British pound. Now full disclosure, I'm long, personally I'm long the pound versus the yen. And I'm going to tell you why I'm long the pound versus the yen. The reason that I'm long the pound versus the yen is that with the premium community, we went short at these highs and we closed our trade around these levels. Okay, nice win, right? But I wasn't looking to buy here, and the reason that I closed this is because these were my targets. And you have to follow your plan if you want to be a profitable trader in the long term. But I was looking at this key level right here for a long opportunity. Now, why was I looking at this key level? Well, because of this. Now, this is where price action had topped in the past. Also, this is an area of very high volume in the past. So this is the way that I look for key levels. All right, I do volume analysis and of course price action analysis in the long term. And I was looking for a buy opportunity right here. Now, I didn't buy exactly when I'm going to share with you where I bought. I didn't buy exactly when this level was hit, and the reason that I didn't buy when this level was hit is because I didn't have a developed entry. So I bought when we broke with these previous highs. Now that gave me an excellent risk to reward scenario, and because of the Brexit, talks or discussions, or so the Brexit discussions and the possible Brexit news out of these talks, I knew that this was going to be a very volatile environment, and we didn't know if the news were going to come out as good as they came out with the Prime Minister of Ireland saying that they are very close to a deal, Boris Johnson very close to a deal, and that a possible Brexit with a deal is higher in probabilities. So I didn't know that, but I didn't know that these were going to be the exact words out of the commission. So I managed my risk, and my entry or my trade was very small, which is fine because I am up right now 750 pips. All right, but the reason, taking aside everything about the Brexit talks and the Brexit news, technically speaking, this is where I wanted to buy the pound versus the yen. Why? Because this is exactly the level that I was looking for a technical buy, and I break of this flag. All right, this is a bullish flag, and if you look closely, this is the pole, this is the flag. And right here we have the breakout. Now, very technical entry, and whether we would have had Brexit talks or not, I would have definitely bought there. Why? Because I trust the process. Okay. Now, in this case, the news were on my side, and now I am up 750 pips on that. Now, but let's stop talking about my personal trades, and let's have a discussion on where are we going to be looking for a long opportunity. All right. Now, this is the 4-hour chart on the pound versus the yen. Now, the 135.50. Now let me just put on the right level here. Right, that's right. The 135.50 level is a very important historic level. Now, you don't have to trust me. I will show you that right now. So let's go to the daily chart, and as you can see right here, this is the exact level where buyers were found here. Now, this is how I look for historic important levels, guys. I look for places where we've had a key reversal. Everything I explain on the premium community, and right here you can see a big rejection to the upside. So this is a very important historic level in my eyes. Okay. I think that I make sense, and if I don't, and you can ask any questions that you want on the chat, guys. I am here for that. So very important very important historic level right here. Boom. And we have a key level that actually we can just erase because we have that historic level, which is a key level. Now, what we're going to be doing is just putting on a short-term level right here. Why? Because I'm looking for opportunities to buy this thing, right? To buy the pound against the yen. Now, the first thing that we need to look for is where we have topped. And I think that we have topped at this high right here. Let's have a look. So let me just grab my... Yep, exactly. This is exactly where we have topped. We have topped at the next high. So what we're going to be expecting is very simple. We're going to be expecting a pullback to that very, very important historic area, and our short-term base for a continuation higher.
All right. Now, this is exactly what I will be looking for, and this is exactly the trade that I will be sending on to our premium community. If you want the trade levels, join us with for just $25 for 1 month. The link is below the video. But in any case, we are going to be looking for that pullback to this key zone. The reason that we are going to be looking for a pullback to this key zone is because this move right here is so much overextended. The reason that this move is so much overextended is because, I mean, from low to high, we have moved 5.70% against the yen. I mean, that's incredible, right? That's in a matter of 2 days. Okay, so and not only that, if we grab our our ruler, you can see that well, from the bottom of the pole to the high of the pole is about 846 pips, and from the breakout to the highs is about 637 pips. So technically speaking, we have reached our targets right here in the US dollar, in the British pound against the Japanese yen. But that doesn't mean that the long-term bullish move is over. No, we are expecting a pullback right here for a continuation. Now, again, remember that this move is very news-driven. This means that if if the market opens with news that a Brexit deal has been struck, the pound is going to fly, and it's never going to pull back to our key levels. But if discussions on a Brexit deal continue the way they are, and the news tone down, we might have a pullback to our key level, and this is our buy zone. I was going to write buy zone, but I'm not going to. So this is our buy zone on the pound versus the yen around the 135.50 to 135. I will be sending this trade levels to our premium members. Again, guys, if you're not a premium subscriber, I am leaving you a link below where you can test us out for just $25 for 1 month. Now, let's have a look at the pound versus the US dollar. Again, the pound versus the US dollar, very news-driven, move to the upside for about 480 pips. Very good move. Congratulations to everybody that took it. And right here, you can see that we have his key historic level. Now, I can show you the key historic level, but I'm going to because of time issues. And I mean, I already showed you the key level on the pound versus the yen. So it is exactly the same. Key reversal points in the past. And as you can see right here, this is a level where where that buyers were protecting. After we broke with it, I mean, the pound just tumbled to the 120, to the 119, almost the 119 level. In any case, we have broken with the immediate bearish structure. This wasn't a very steep bearish structure, but it was a bearish structure nonetheless. And we have broken with it. All right. Now I see the pound going up and only going up. And if we were looking, if we were looking at pound versus the yen for a buy zone, in my opinion, this is a much more respectable or a higher probability buy than the pound versus the yen. And the reason that it's a more high probability in my eyes is because the pound versus the yen is, is trading at a level that is very far away from our pullback zone. So I'm going to be looking to buy the pound against the dollar, not against the yen. And my key level is, of course, this previous high and a retest the 131. All right. Now we need to break with this level first, the 127.70. Let me just put on the exact coordinates. 127.70, and the reason 77. And the reason we need to break with this level first is because of this. This is a previous stop, and this is where sellers were found right before we broke with this very important historic level. So in my eyes, if we open with no Brexit news, we are going to pull back to the 125.50 to 125.30 for a continuation, and my first target would be the 127.77, and my ultimate targets all the way up to the 131. Again, this is just following the good news out of the probability, or the higher probability, of a Brexit deal being struck, which is very good for the pound in the long term. All right, so let's move on. Let's have a look at the US dollar, Canadian dollar, shall we? And if you follow my shows, you know that, and I missed this opportunity. I mean, I was sick on Thursday, so I did miss this opportunity, but it's completely fine. The daily edgers that follow this show already knew that this was my key level. Right on yellow, we had a key level right here. Very, very. I mean, I went through this key level tons of times during every daily edge, and I already had told you that this was way too soon to sell the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. And we hit that key level right here. And when we retested that key level, this was the opportunity to sell the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Now, we haven't hit the ultimate targets at around the 131.45, which are these previous lows right here. But there's nothing too much to say about the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, other than this is where I will be looking for buys, because not only because that short-term move would have touched or test the bottom of the range that the US dollar Canadian dollar is trading at, but because of my bullish view on the US dollar, and that would give me a great a great risk to reward scenario with my stops below this low. All right, moving on. If you have any questions, again, just you can write them on the chat. I have I have a chat on the other on my other screen. I will be I mean, once I see a question, I respond to it immediately. So again, and let's move on and let's have a look at the US dollar, the euro versus the USD. All right, now the euro versus the US dollar, very, very, very interesting what's going on right here. Now, I know there's a lot of levels in the euro versus the USD, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I can't control how many levels I mean, how many levels are printed on the charts. I just can't control what's going on with them. Now, very important, right here, you can see a test of this descending, this descending structure. In my eyes, yeah, I mean, that's a trend line, but that's not a strong trend line. I mean, I just put it there because it is a structure that can be tested, and it was tested and rejected. This was very late in the US session, so I did not I did not go short, and I would have never gotten short at the test of a trend line. That's just not the way that I trade. But I do think that we are going higher. All right, on the very short term, I do think that we are going to be testing the 111, and here at the 111 is where I'm going to be looking for that short opportunity on the euro versus the US dollar. All right, I don't trade short-term moves. I mean, trading short-term moves is just out of the question for me. I do wait and exercise my patience until I hit my key levels for excellent risk to reward opportunities. Now, this is my view on the euro US dollar. There's nothing more to say than just join us in premium for 25 bucks on the first month. The link is below this video. Now, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen is at a very, very, very important level to me. Actually, this is a key level that we are going to modify right now. And the reason that I don't do this before is because I like to do this with you. All right, I'm not the kind of trader, the kind of coach or whatever you want to call me, that is going to prepare their charts before the show and just show you what I've done. No, what I like to do, is start analyze my charts, start changing the colors on my lines, start creating more. I'm not creating, but drawing more levels, drawing trend lines, drawing Fibonacci levels, etc. with you, so you understand my thought process behind all of this. Now, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen is at a very important key level. I'm sorry. I have allergies. So very important key level that we have struck here on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. This is the 1 hour chart, guys. And the reason that we're looking at the 1 hour chart first is because, of this topping move, all right? So this is the 1 hour chart right here, and we are at the 108.50 to 108.65 level, and this is where sellers have been found in the past. Let's take a look at this. Boom. After this very slow move to the upside, we hit that key level, and bam, this is where sellers were found until we hit that 106.60. So let's move on to the 4 hour chart, guys, and let's have a look where we could be heading. Right now, let's see if we have some kind of a structure here. All right. Now, yeah, we do have a some kind of a bullish structure with a top right here at the 108.50. Now, I'm not going to go short at the open. That's out of the question, right? But I am looking for short opportunities on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And this is the exact level that I want that this currency pair to hit right before I take my risk on the short side of the US dollar Japanese yen. Now, again, you might ask me, why are you going to short the dollar against the yen if you are bullish the US dollar? And the reason that I will do that is because I am bullish on the Japanese yen. All right? And I know that this is a U.S. dollar driven market in the meaning that the U.S. dollar is the most powerful currency, but I do believe in the strength of the Japanese yen on the short term. That will lead this price action to test at least the 107. But that's me, of course, that's me. And this is not at all confirmed. This setup has not yet developed, but I'm expecting, let's go ahead and let's open the 1 hour chart. I am expecting that this right here gives me the setup that I know I'm looking for to short this currency pair with a great risk to reward ratio. Again, the exact trade levels will be sent to our premium subscribers. If you want to join us, I'm leaving you a link below to test us out for $25 on first month. That's only $25 for an entire month worth of premium signals, trade ideas, and premium coaching, and direct access to me. Now, again, let's move on to the US dollar Swiss franc. I was short the US dollar Swiss franc right here. I shorted around. I actually got stopped out on this move to the upside, so my entry should have been around the 99.85 level. And again, I'm still looking for short opportunities. And the reason that I put my stop losses to break even on this move after I saw this rejection of this very important key level, guys. Huge rejection of parity. I mean, that's not only a key level, but it's parity. Okay, I went short at parity, well, a little below parity because I got stopped out. The reason that I moved myself to break even is because when price went down here, it didn't break with the flag or this somehow bullish structure. That is not a bullish structure because that was drawn incorrectly, or was it? I don't know. But in any case, when I saw that sellers were unable to break right here with this bullish structure. I'm sorry guys, let me just grab my brush. With this bullish structure right here, I did move my stop to break even because I didn't want to get stopped out on a stop hunt or something like that. But in any case, I am still looking for the short side on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. And well, now the low that I'm looking at is this right here around the 99.030 level for a break and a continuation lower. Again, we are still very much flat on this currency pair and will be flat on this currency pair unless we break with this low and the immediate bullish structure, or that has been a very slow move to the upside in a flaggy way. So yes, I am looking for that short opportunity on the US dollar Swiss franc like I did last week, but got stopped out at break even. Now, we have gone through every single one of these markets, guys. I have enjoyed this very much. I think that I will be doing this live. The weekly market breakdown live. If you're not a premium subscriber and you want to get my trade levels whenever I enter the market, I'm leaving you a link below this video so you can try us out for $25 for just 1 month. You can cancel at any time. It's just 25 bucks. I can't make you invest in your education. It's only you. But if you like what you see here, this is what my premium members get every single day. So until next time, guys, if you do decide to join us, welcome. Have a great end of your Sunday if you are in America. And by America, I mean the continent, not the country. And if you are in Europe, well, have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.